Gents, it has been another successful season of TGI Fantasy Football in 2023. And with that, it is time for the 2023 TGI Fantasy Football Awards ceremony, brought to you by yours truly, Commissioner and Master of Ceremonies, Spencer Jones. Tonight we will be going through 16 awards, 15 that you voted on, and one that was won on merit. That was the Waiver Wire Warrior Award. In the past, we have voted on this award. This year, I have elected to give it to whoever had the most waiver moves on the season to negate the voting process. As tradition, we are doing this on the Wednesday of Championship Week. So with that, I would like to congratulate Logan Weston and Henry Gonzalez on making it to the championship game this year, as well as giving you a MacGuffin update. Mitch Walsmith has somehow found his way having the MacGuffin. After defeating Eddie, he will be playing Ziggy in this final week for the MacGuffin Championship, which could very likely be the last place game as well, based on how tiebreakers go. Every team in the bottom bracket is 1-1, so every single team can either win or lose that bracket and be our glorified loser this season. Tonight, I would like you to grab a drink and join me. I will be drinking Woodford Reserve Double Oaked Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, which I will be drinking periodically throughout the night. I will attempt to do it as awards are given, but it might kill the pace. Our procedure for tonight will be as follows. We have our casting vote as Alex Merritt reprising his role even though he is not participating this season. We actually had to use that to tiebreak this year, so that's fun and surprising. We have never had to do that before. I'm your Master of Ceremonies and Commissioner Spencer Jones, and our Deputy Commissioner the entire year was Cleo Weston. Thank you to Cleo. She was very helpful when the tough decisions had to be made, and I didn't necessarily want to be the bad guy. So, as we go through each award, I'll give past information as applicable. I will list the nominees, and then finally the winner. And I might make a few quips as I see necessary. So let's get right into it. We're going to start off with the TGI Fantasy 2023 MVP. In the past, this has been won by Mitchell Schedule in 2022, which was truly the MVP that season, and Cooper Kupp in 2021. This year, the nominees are Dak Prescott, QB2, CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver 2, and the Cowboys defense 1, and I believe the 15th player overall in fantasy, which is insane. All three of those are from Henry Gonzalez's dominant squad. Also joining them is Jalen Hurts, QB3 from Ryan's squad, kind of kept him afloat in that mid-period. But our winner, without a doubt, is Christian McCaffrey from Logan Weston's squad. He was a key player in that 9-game win streak to open the season, unprecedented. We have never seen that before. Congratulations, Logan. You picked a good one. Next up is our Bust of the Year. This is given to a player that underperforms compared to their draft stock. As you guys voted in the past, it is traditionally a running back award, with the past 2 times being running backs, Jonathan Taylor in 2022, Christian McCaffrey in 2021. Our nominees this year, running back Nick Chubb, who spent the entire year injured. Poor Landon used a first-round pick on Nick Chubb this year. Joining him is Cooper Kupp from Cleo's squad. Didn't play a whole lot, and Cleo's record showed and struggled throughout the year. And T. Higgins, who I'm sure did something this year, but honestly, I have no idea. So, Andreas, I'm sorry that you used the second-round pick on this guy, because I could not tell you a single thing that he did. But with that, our winner was Austin Eckler, keeping it in the running back fraternity. This award is going back to back to back. Eddie used a 4th-round pick on this guy just to be running back, I want to say 28 or lower. This vote was close, however, but Eddie, my sincerest condolences. Next, we have Sleeper Pick of the Year, the Joe Biden Sleeper Pick of the Year. This is given to a player that overperforms compared to their draft stock. This year, our nominees were Raheem Mostert from Eddie's squad, who was running back 2 on the year, drafted in the 9th round, I believe. So, Eddie, at least you replaced Austin Eckler with Raheem Mostert, who had double-digit touchdowns after not having double-digit touchdowns his entire career. Sam Laporta is our next nominee from Mitch's squad, making all us Iowa boys proud. He was one of 3 tight ends and a rookie from the University of Iowa to score in the top 4 for that position. We are very proud of him here at the University of Iowa. But our winner, overwhelmingly, Brock Purdy, proving all the fantasy doubters wrong. He comes in at QB4 on the year, even after that stinker of a negative, I believe, 4-point game that he just had in week 16. AK took him top of the 10th round, and he has paid off for AK, that's for sure. A big reason why he was competitive down the stretch. Next up, owner of the year, the big one. This is what you want to win. This is given to the owner that is the best GM on the year and produces the best results week by week. Our nominees were all in the top 4 for the standings. That is Logan Weston, who went 9-5 and started off 9-0. Unprecedented. No one has ever come close to that mark. It's miraculous. Alex Russell, 9-5, got a first-round bye. One of 2 people to ever get a first-round bye, as it was newly introduced this year. Landon Rupp, 8-6 as a rookie, might I add. He had a great middle half of the season. But our winner, if you ask me, it wasn't close. Henry Gonzalez taking over half the vote, or exactly half the vote. 12-2 on the year, playing in the championship, first round bye. Only lost to Eddie. Granted, he lost twice, but he in fact only lost to one person on the entire year and has a chance to run that table. Arguably the most dominant team in TGI fantasy history. Alex Russell will probably testify that from the back, but it's undoubtable. Henry this year has been unstoppable. He is very deserving of this award. Next up, team name of the year. One of my favorites each and every year. I'm going to give you some past winners. 2022, it was Matt Aray's House Party by Alex Kanasan. And in 2021, it was Kareem Pie by Eddie Morlock Hobson. This traditionally has the most nominees, so you're going to have to bear with me for a minute. This year's nominees were Odessa Perman High School, Alex is a Bottom, Chicken Bajan, Iowa Penal All-Stars, Life is Suffering. That is very relatable, Andreas. I'll drink to that one. CEO of Poverty Football, also very fitting for Ziggy. Rock Bottom Heroes, a traditional name by Henry Gonzalez, but this year it made sense after his last season performance. It garnered a vote, that's for sure. And finally, Daniel Dimes Lover. Obviously that one panned out. Daniel Dimes is scorching the league this year. Alex Russell, you better be proud. But our winner, in a very, very close vote, this is by far the least amount of votes any award has ever gotten. Amon Raw Dogging It by Jackson Grant. As you can see, they're only 28% of the vote. I believe it got 4 out of 14 votes, which is crazy low, and 9 teams got votes. One thing for sure is that Jackson Amon raw dogged himself out of the playoffs in the last week. So I think it's a fitting name for the man himself. Next up, comeback owner of the year. And I'm going to have to drink some sorrows for my fellow friends that had to endure last year's pain just to get this award. This year there was only 3 nominees. And if you ask me, all 3 were very, very deserving. Any other year, I think they would have won. They all fit the caliber. They all met the qualifications for this award. However, our 2 nominees were Henry Gonzalez, who from 2022 to 2023 went 4-10 last year. This year, 12-2 first round bye in the championship game. Like I said already, extremely dominant. A force to be reckoned with. Alex Russell, who has endured some pain, that's for sure. A legend in his own right in the first few years. It was fun to see him and Henry clash on equal footing this year. But in 2021, he was last at 14th place. In 2022, he was 13th place and played in that loser's game once again. This year, however, 9-5, first round bye. What a turnaround. He looks back to his own roots. Personally, I'm scared because he's the New England Patriots of this league. But it was fun to see him and Henry get down and tangle. Our winner, though, Logan Weston, went from last place last year to 9-5, the 9-0 start. I mean, it may have been a perfect mesh of schedule and maybe low-scoring games. However, that is unprecedented. we may never see anything like this again. It cannot go unstated. Again, all three were deserving of this award. Congratulations, Logan Weston. You earned this one. Next up, Master Tank Artist. This is given generally to anyone who finds new ways and more ways to lose than anyone else on the year. Sometimes you invent new ways to lose, as seen in the past. The nominees this year were Eddie Morlock Hobson. Yes, he went, I believe, 4-10. Beat Eddie twice, or Henry twice. He could beat the most dominant team, arguably, of all time, but not anyone else. It was a struggle for this man, for sure. Mitch Wallsmith, Cam Wheeler, who started off 4-0, went 6-8, 2-8 down the stretch, and I believe was out of the playoff picture by the time Week 13 came around. Total collapse. However, our winner was Ziggy Page, 2-12. I believe it was 10 weeks in a row without scoring 100 points. He was on the struggle bus all year for sure, and man, that was ridiculous to watch. He is the Master Tank Artist. He should really join the military because he would be a phenomenal tank commander. But I have nothing more to say. Let's move on. Luckiest Owner. This one pisses me off every year. I'm going to have to drink for this one. This is presented to whoever says fuck you the most to the fantasy gods every year. I believe we've had 3 different winners each and every year. Generally, it's whoever finds their way to weasel to the most wins. Sometimes it's a lucky way out of a scenario. This year, our nominees, we had 4 nominees, and all of them had very good basis, if you ask me. Logan Weston is our first nominee, 9-5. How is he lucky? He scored a good amount of points. He went 9-0 on, I kid you not, the most perfect schedule for through 9 weeks. It was the only possible schedule out of 14 times 14, more than 150. It was the only one that would have gone 9-0, and by God, he went 9-0. And he was exposed down the stretch, going 0-5 after that. However, it cannot be said how lucky this man was. Next is myself for my final week bout in rivalry week to get into the playoffs. I had to win to get in, or if I lost, I had to have 3 other teams lose, and that scenario happened. I managed to get into the playoffs by losing in horrible fashion, and I lucked out to get in. That is certainly the definition of lucky, if you ask me. Next is Alex Russell, getting that first round by Ziggy, pulling a miracle out of his patootie to win against Logan on week 14, rivalry week. Alex Russell was dead in the water until Aaron Jones was ruled as out, and Logan sneaked out the win, and Alex was able to get that first round bye. But our winner, by overwhelming fashion, was Ryan Williams, who, for the 3rd year in a row, pulled some points against Dark Voodoo Magic. I don't know how he does it. He cannot keep getting away with this. But he managed to do it again, went 8-6, having the 2nd least amount of points scored. He was very healthy through 8 weeks, but that second half stretch was a bit rough on him. However, he managed to pull it off, and he is going to take home luckiest owner this season. Next up, we have Dave Gettleman Award, long for worst GM. Our nominees this year were Ryan Williams for having a bad team, Jackson Grant for getting a vote, Cam Wheeler for blowing it down the stretch, Mitch Wallsmith, no explanation there. But our winner, undoubtedly, Ziggy Page, 10 weeks in a row, like I said, under 100 points. That is the most in league history, if I am certain. Just poor team management, but he's taken home an award, and he's going to be a very decorated man tonight. I'm going to spoil it for you. Next up, the Cry About It Award. You guys have already seen this one, but I'm going to have some fun with it. Our nominees, Logan Weston, myself, Alex Knossagen, Eddie Morlock Hobson for being a Packers fan. But our winner, as you guys know, taking half the vote, Mitch Wallsmith. I'm pretty sure he voted for himself for this one. So, Yeah, I don't really need to say much more about that. Next, the Trash Talk Trojan. This one actually had to be tie broke. It was our casting vote for the night. So, let me drink. How the casting vote works. There were 3 owners tied at the top. Each one of them is going to take home a shared win for this, but the overall winner is going to be whoever was tie broken by our casting vote, Alex Merritt. Our nominees, Henry Gonzalez, Ziggy Page, and even though he didn't compete this year, Mike Bonner took home 2 votes. It's pretty comical to me. About once a month, he'd come into chat and just talk shit, mean shit to whoever was the last person to speak. His presence is definitely still felt. Our shared winners, myself and Alex Knosog. Congratulations, my friend. You and I are both taking home a share of this award. However, our winner, tie broke by Alex Merritt, Mitch Wallsmith. From these last 2 awards, he can talk the talk and he can cry about the walk, which is ironically his attitude towards walking to campus as well. You don't have to drive everywhere, dude. Just suck it up and walk. But the man is the Trash Talk Trojan of 2023. He talked the shit and he talked it well. Next up, Upset Stunner of the Year. This goes to the most boots shaking upset of the year, the one that left you in awe, stuttering with your mouth jaw wide open. And I'm over glorifying this. It was pretty simple. Our nominees, Ziggy's Week 7 bout against Jackson. It was his first win of the year. This seemed improbable at the time. Jackson really shit the bed on this one. Sorry, my friend, but I mean, it's Ziggy. Our next nominee is Mitch in Week 8, blowing out A-Russ. Mitch is certainly A-Russ's kryptonite. That's about all I can say. I mean, nothing else has to be said. A-Russ went 9-5, Mitch went 6-8, but Mitch, hats off to you on that one, man. Our next nominee is AK, who ended Logan's 9-game win streak. He was 9-0 in Week 10. AK came in, slapped him silly, and left. Logan, it was a good run. AK, that was a huge win. Even now, you deserve the nomination. Our final nominee is Eddie, beating Henry once again, second time on the year, on a miracle Monday Night Football 4th quarter comeback, Week 14 rivalry week, last week of the season. I mean, man, Raheem Mostert putting up 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter. I don't even remember who the Dolphins were playing, but I thought Eddie was dead in the water, and Henry took his 2nd L on the year to Eddie. I mean, if you ask me, Eddie's the real champion because Henry in his dominance just cannot defeat the dude. Our winner, though, Week 14, Ziggy knocking Logan out of that first round bye. I hinted at it earlier. I mean, Alex Russell, I know, praying from his grave. I was there with them on the couch. My goodness, that was insane to watch, watching Aaron Jones go out. Ziggy pulled some magic out of his bum, that's for sure. He might do it to survive doing a punishment this year in Week 14 against Mitch, because it's Mitch. However, this was incredible. Logan, I mean, credit to you. You made the championship game. You beat me. You beat A-Russ. You beat everyone you had to. Good luck, my friend. Maybe you can stop Henry's dominance. It is his 3rd championship in 4 years, of course. Next, the waiver wire warrior. As I said, this was granted to on merit this year. This was not voted for, as it was just voted every year for whoever had the most waiver wire moves. So instead, I'm going to go 3rd, 2nd, and 1st, and this was a tight race, I will tell you what. 3rd place, the rookie himself, Landon Rupp, 30 moves on the year. 2nd place, Cleo Weston, 31 moves. Kind of went under the radar if you ask me, but that makes sense. Cleo was fighting at the back, clawing for every single win on the year. I understand it. Cleo, hats off to you. The winner, though, is myself, and I would like to congratulate myself on this win. As I can say, back to back to back, I've won it every single year. 32 moves, as I said, close. 30, 31, 32. Down to your 32. I'm going to take it home. We are nearing the home stretch though with best rivalry. Every year I put in a joke rivalry, and every year it wins. We'll see if it wins this year. Our nominees, we had four very qualified nominees. The first one was the Alex Bowl, Alex Kanasok, Alex Russell, different from the Alex series, which was those two and Alex Merritt in the past. They always give me a headache every year, but it is a classic rivalry for sure. The Border War was another nomination between Landon and Mitch. I can't say much about it because it's brand new. It's a baby of the league. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's about to be an instant classic. Finally, Eddie versus Henry as a nomination. Every year they get closer to winning this thing. It is, in my opinion, the best current rivalry in TGI Fantasy. Maybe not the greatest, maybe not the most legacy, but certainly the greatest. Henry just cannot get over that hump this year. But the winner, once again, was a joke. Ziggy versus himself, which is honestly deserved because every week Ziggy found a way to shit the bed by sucking. I don't know how to say that in a professional manner. I think the technical term is sucking. So, sorry, my friend, you are going to take home the rivalry. Share it with yourself. Share it proud. You are taking home another award. Second to last, Rookie Owner of the Year. I'm going to give you some past info on this one. This is whoever does the best. This is an elected award of whichever rookie does the best on the year. And this one has some funny history. I'm going to have to take a drink for this one. You should too. 2022. Ziggy Page, my man, runs unopposed against the vote of no confidence and wins. That may not seem like a huge accomplishment, except for the fact that in 2021, there was two rookies, Mitch Walsmith and Matt Bonner, who is no longer with us. The vote of no confidence, however, won because honestly, both those rookies sucked. Mitch, do better. But yeah, this was another close race, ironically. We had three nominees despite having two rookies, those being Cam Wheeler, 6-8 with that 4-0 start. Had never been done before going into this year. That was the best ever. Unfortunately, three other people did it with him this year. This was a historic year for sure. Even with 14 people, three people went 4-0 to start, and Logan went on to win 9 in a row, even though Henry and Cam dropped off after 4. Still an impressive feat, especially for a rookie, especially for someone who told me at the beginning of the year had never played fantasy football before. Congratulations, Cam. You did well. You did not win a vote, however. I am sorry. Our second nominee was Ziggy because, and I quote, he played like a rookie. And finally, our winner, like I said, close, but really shouldn't have been, Landon Rupp, 8-6, playoffs in his rookie season. Could have been the fifth ever rookie, I believe fourth ever, to win the championship as a rookie. It was a trend until 2022 when Henry snapped that, 2021 when Henry snapped that by winning it back-to-back. That being said, congratulations, Landon. You are the Rookie of the Year, and I hope you continue to lose because I don't want to play someone that good at fantasy. Our final award of the night, the most hated award, personally my favorite. I'm donning Ndamukong Suh because I think it's very fitting. This is generally a rigged vote. However, this year I decided to only make it a somewhat rigged vote because I thought it would be funnier that way because this is a funny award. Our nominees, I'm going to list all four of them here because they all have a reason, and then I'm going to list the winners. So I'm going to break character. Alex Russell, our 2021 winner, rigged vote. I'm very proud of that one. Mitch Walsmith, our 2022 winner, also proud of rigging that one. I am also here as the commissioner because I make the rules, and no one likes rules. They're meant to be broken. Don't break them, AK, please. And Henry Gonzalez, because he always wins. But our winner was Mitch Walsmith, 6-8 on the year, as you can see. Not a very good year. I mean, generally that'd be middle of the pack, except everyone went 6-8 or 8-6 or 7-7. But that being said, It wasn't necessarily a close vote, but it wasn't far off. But Mitch, you're taking home back-to-back most hated awards. I hope you're proud of that because it is my personal favorite. That being said, that is going to conclude our awards ceremony. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed your drink, and good luck to everyone on the final.